West Virginia Wesleyan College is a distinguished figure whose dedication has profoundly shaped the college's physics and engineering programs. Since joining Wesleyan in 1973, following the completion of his PhD at the University of Kentucky, Dr. Wiest has been instrumental in the department's growth, establishing a legacy of rigorous preparation and outstanding graduate and professional placements that continue to define the success of this department. A respected physicist and renowned educator, Dr. Wiest served as both professor and chair of the Department of Physics and Engineering, receiving the Outstanding Professor of the Year award in 1986. With an unwavering commitment to excellence and innovation, he helped secure more than $1 million in grant funding, many from NASA and the West Virginia Space Grant Consortium. Through his hard work and dedication, he acquired essential equipment for students to learn necessary skills in his specializations in lasers, atomic, and nuclear physics. His tireless advocacy created opportunities for student internships at NASA facilities, and he consistently mentored students who have gone on to prestigious graduate programs and impactful careers in medical physics, biomedical engineering, nuclear physics, laser research, and numerous other disciplines. Dr. Wiest's legacy includes not only his leadership in the classroom, but also visionary efforts beyond. He co-founded the Wesleyan Summer Gifted Program, providing advanced and educational opportunities for talented youth for more than 40 years. As a teacher, grant writer, mentor, and advocate, Dr. Wiest is celebrated for his intellectual rigor and exceptional ability to inspire students to reach their highest potential. And as Dr. Wiest served on my tenure review committee, I'm also grateful for his mentorship and professionalism and being a good colleague and a good steward of the college. So thank you. And today, as part of homecoming, I'm honored, and please join me in welcoming Dr. Wiest, Professor Emeritus, for a culminating lecture that reflects the remarkable arc of his career. Let us celebrate his outstanding service, innovation, and enduring impact on the college and the broader scientific community. Dr. Wiest.
Hello everyone, it's so great to see all of you here. Thank you so much for being here. This weekend we all have so much to celebrate. You're all back to a wonderful college. You are all back with a group of wonderful people that you've gotten to know over many years. And we also want to remember the people who founded us. So, as we go through my talk, you'll see references to all of those. In 1973, I was recruited to West Virginia Wesleyan College from a small state college in southern Illinois by the name of Shawnee College. I had graduated from the University of Kentucky 3 years prior with a PhD in physics with a concentration in nuclear physics and a strong graduate minor in mathematics. My new assignment at Wesleyan was to teach physics, calculus, and computer science. In particular, I was tasked with increasing the number of majors in physics from 3 majors at that time. Over a period of 52 years, the physics program grew to become one of the most popular academic programs at Wesleyan, with 80 physics majors. The success of the growth of the program reflects a lifetime of work for myself and my co-departmental members. I strive to continue teaching with the same energy, enthusiasm, and vigor that I brought to Wesleyan on my arrival to Buchanan 52 years ago. My wife, Dr. Jeannie Wiest, a pediatrician, and I were drawn to Wesleyan by the school's academic reputation and its history and outstanding faculty, along with the quaintness of Buchanan. My first president here happened to be a remarkable person whose name is J. Rockefeller. J. Rockefeller was the president in 1973, and Wesleyan was growing at a good rate. At the time, I was teaching at the small school in Illinois and did not have a tradition with history and the other things that I saw in Wesleyan. When I saw the advertisement for a faculty position in physics at Wesleyan, I consulted with Jeannie and decided to apply. I was drawn to Wesleyan because it had a rich liberal arts tradition and a reputation for attracting great faculty. We drove to Buchanan from Illinois on the curviest roads I've ever seen. Illinois, as you may know, is very flat. When we arrived, we found passionate teachers who had dedicated their lives to the school, such as William Hallam, and he's the person that I basically replaced at that time, who was retiring, Ernest Kapstack from chemistry, George Rossbach from biology, Betty Weimer for biology, Mike Berry from mathematics, Alan Hamler from chemistry, Paul Richter from chemistry, Carl Colson from biology, Arthur Holmes from religion, which was a great department at that time, also here, and more. They were all giants in their field. When classes began in the fall of 1973, Wesleyan, and I'm repeating myself here, had 3 physics majors. I spent most of my time teaching support courses for students who were pursuing degrees in biology, chemistry, mathematics, and teacher education. My charge was to develop a major program in physics. The administration, particularly Don and Sally Richardson, who worked under J. Rockefeller, and the mathematics and chemistry departments were strong advocates for engineering, and they supported me in developing a curriculum that led to an engineering physics major. My legacy at Wesleyan is far more than the increased number of physics majors. When I arrived, Wesleyan had excellent laboratory spaces for biology and chemistry, but physics was lagging behind significantly. Today, the school's labs provide students with a significant number of opportunities to pursue exciting hands-on experiments. The department's labs are a product of my creative design skills, connections in the field, bargain shopping and negotiating, and grant writing abilities. Dr. Jerry Beasley, the Vice President for Development at that time, who later became a highly successful Concord College, or Concord University, now president, helped me secure a $125,000 federal grant for lab equipment. And when that big check came in, the other departments wanted to have a meeting with me, and they said, "Don't forget us." Therefore, that nice big grant was divided equally among physics, biology, and chemistry. One of the unknown heroes of the program's growth was Arnold Sayre, who served the college as a technical assistant to WVWC FM, a public radio station here on the campus. At that time, the college opted to drop the public radio station for financial reasons. Arnold Sayre moved to the physics department at that time and began helping us as our major technical assistant. I began actively participating in research conferences at the Oak Ridge National Laboratory, and I would return to campus and comb through journals and plans for equipment and then draw them out. Arnold Sayre was able to go to the machine shop and build equipment from all those drawings. The plan worked beautifully, and we were able to usher in equipment that was worth many thousands of dollars for a fraction of the cost. At the same time, I worked closely with the college's Director of Development, Herb Sharp, to successfully secure grant funding to purchase additional lab equipment. Over at my long career at Wesleyan, I have helped to secure more than $1 million in grant funding for lab equipment and summer research projects for the department's students, according to the records of Robert Skinner, who was our Vice President for Development for many years. My strategy was to build a robust, innovative program in physics with a full curriculum of courses while still emphasizing the liberal arts, providing high-quality laboratory experiences, and encouraging students to pursue summer research opportunities. The college began attracting more students in physics, and the program built its reputation through outstanding graduate placements. Our students were gaining admission to outstanding engineering and physics programs after leaving Wesleyan, such as Georgia Tech, University of Illinois, University of North Carolina, Penn State University, Virginia Tech, Emory University, and Duke, and others. In addition, Wesleyan had great success in placing students in some of the nation's best medical physics programs. Today, many practicing medical physicists are Wesleyan graduates. And I'm sorry that we weren't able to have Peter Sandoval join us this weekend, who is one of those outstanding medical physicists. We also established and maintained a strong partnership with NASA. I became very active in a number of state and regional organizations. I was a longtime officer in the Appalachian section of the American Association of Physics Teachers. In the early 2000s, the college added 3-2 engineering options with Virginia Tech, and West Virginia. The 3-2 programs led to a master's degree in engineering. In 1983, my wife and I together established the Summer Gifted Program. Our son had participated in the program at Duke University one summer, and on the way home, Jeannie and I realized that we could develop our own gifted program at Wesleyan. We were fully aware of the Johns Hopkins Talent Identification Program, but we knew there were kids in West Virginia and surrounding states who would love to be challenged and who wanted to pursue science and mathematics. We are really proud of the legacy of that program. There are so many summer gifted graduates, several who are local, who are enjoying incredible career success. My class load always includes upper-level physics classes, as well as support courses for other majors. I have loved teaching every class. My favorite class that was open to all students, whether a major or not, was returning to the moon and onto Mars. I always find students who are pursuing other majors to be quite stimulating because they have so many varied interests. Several students who took that class ended up with career jobs at NASA locations after graduating from Wesleyan. And one of those who did that more recently was Christopher Cool, who came here from Buffalo, West Virginia, and who in this group knows where that great little town of Buffalo is? Okay, a few do. It's between Charleston and Huntington. But he's on the NASA Mars program, and he is out there putting rocket ships and robots and other things onto the surface of Mars today. Two scientists that stand out in all of my classes are Marie Curie and Katherine Johnson. Marie Curie of Poland, despite efforts to deny her a good education, first unraveled the secrets of the nucleus of the atom by capturing and studying the emissions of gamma rays and alpha particles. She then, through Herculean effort, determined how these emissions can be used to cure cancers. She determined that gamma rays would cure cancers of the breast, and that alpha particles would cure cancers of the prostate. Catherine Johnson grew up in White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia, and guided the first astronauts safely and accurately through space due to her advanced knowledge of mathematics and physics, despite efforts to deny her that education in order to reach the moon and to return to Earth safely. At Wesleyan, a small statue stands in her honor near the entrance to Christopher Hall. How many of you have found the Catherine Johnson statue outside of the front of this building? Oh, very good. Very outstanding person. Still, it is watching freshman majors grow in their depth of knowledge and skills that excited me the most. And I actively pursued grants to ensure that students can take advantage of partnerships and internships. I became a member of the board of West Virginia Space Grant Consortium, which has sponsored internships for many Wesleyan students at NASA facilities, and also awarded the college's faculty NASA grants and students with NASA fellowships. On one memorable summer, I mentored research projects by 4 physics students. Bobby Mitchell of Scott Depot, West Virginia, used a tunable diode laser to measure the rotational motion of the chromium nucleus. Paige Stenson of Salem, Virginia, used the new Montlabs laser to measure the non-spherical shape of the nucleus of the 2 most common isotopes of rubidium. Ethan Randolph of Martinsburg, West Virginia, designed a system using beta radiation as a long-term source of power for a spacecraft venturing far from the sun. Timothy Rono of Nairobi, Kenya, designed a solar-powered jet engine. They all did wonderful work. My late colleague, Dr. Bert Thompson, followed me as chair of the Department of Physics, and as we all know, did a beautiful job. He kindly stated, "I continue to be amazed that Dr. Wiest never forgets the name of a student or where they are working today. Joe's mind and memory are remarkable. He can deliver a lecture on any subject in physics at a moment's notice and without a single note or PowerPoint slide. Graduates return each year eager to see him and to express their appreciation for his role in their career success. He is the same today as when I met him 29 years ago." And Bert Popson is such a great person that all of us benefited so many years from, and we missed him so much. Wesley founded schools to educate children of the poor. Previously, children were not educated unless they were from well-to-do families. Wesley was controversial when he was an itinerant evangelist. And the reason for that is at the time in England, you only went to church in beautiful structures, and people did not go out talking with people in their small towns or stopping to speak to them as they were plowing their fields. But John Wesley and his followers were quite willing to do that. Wesley was controversial when he was an itinerant evangelist, but in his later years, he became the most beloved man in England. His portrait hangs in the National Gallery in London. Our debt to John Wesley was that he determined that the bigger world outside of England was in great need of higher education, He designed a curriculum based upon what he and his father had studied at Oxford University. That led to his creation of the Wesleyan University and Wesleyan College models, which he became a missionary in creating in the United States, as well as in several other countries. He also had a great concern about people's morals and religious values. The second concern led him and his missionaries that he recruited in England to create the Methodist churches in the United States. Of particular importance to us was the fact that John Wesley and his followers created 107 colleges in the United States, including the fine institution of what? West Virginia Wesleyan College, etc. They all became wonderful institutions of higher learning that provided Oxford-level education in the Church of England set of morals to many thousands of young people in the United States. Education is a core value of the United Methodist Church that dates back to the earliest days of Methodist movement in 18th century England. Founder John Wesley believed education was the key to a fuller, richer life. Knowledge for him was not so much a purely intellectual attribute, but rather a channel of self-understanding which is crucial for salvation. Wesley believed everyone should have access to education regardless of gender or class. In 1748, he enlarged a school he had opened for the children of coal miners near Bristol and named it the Kingswood School. His goal for the school was to give young people a high-quality education so they could aspire to Cambridge or Oxford and to the professions. He championed education as a way to assure that leaders would act ethically and responsibly. As the Methodist movement took hold and spread in the United States, Francis Asbury and Thomas Coke demonstrated the same attitude in founding Cokesbury College, the first of many colleges started by the denomination. The General Conferences of 1820 and 1824 charged the annual conferences with the establishment of schools, literary institutions, and colleges. By the Civil War, Methodism had established or was affiliated with some 200 such institutions. John Wesley's vision of making higher education accessible to all has inspired the founding of many educational institutions by the church. 19th century church leaders established colleges that granted degrees to women and African Americans. Beginning in the 1860s and continuing today, the church initiated robust programs of scholarships and loans to provide financial support to students. The denomination's commitment to education accessibility was reaffirmed in the 1970s with the creation of the Black College Fund and the HANA Scholars Program, and again in the 1990s with establishment of Africa University Abroad. Today, the United Methodist Church supports a network of 117 outstanding United Methodist related schools, colleges, and universities in the United States, including 13 schools of theology, and relates to more than 700 institutions in the Methodist tradition globally. Thank you. That is all for today.
one surprise for you, Dr. Wiest, before we all go. Thank you so much for all of your service to West Virginia Wesleyan College. You are truly a giant of the institution. And your colleagues, Dr. Bert Hobson, who we do miss dearly, and Dr. Tracy Delaney, helped plan this celebration for you. Dr. Hobson had reached out to alumni on your behalf. And do you happen to have a favorite office here in Christopher? A favorite room?
Well, my office has been
Well, because of the generosity of alumni, we will be naming, you can think about it, a room in this building in Christopher Hall in your honor.
If I can pick a big room.
This one I think is already named. Thank you, Joe, so much.
Yes.